Get my focus dialed in. Critical focus with my focus zoom. And we'll focus on that leaf right there. And I'm going to get the shot. All right, so got some leaves over here that I want to get. Nice autumn colors on them. So kind of doing a little walk through the woods here. And maybe I'll get, a macro here and there, real close up of a leaf. I'm going to use my Sony A7rii 42 megapixel with my 90mm macro 2.8. See if we can get back in some sunlight here. And it's pretty nice out here. It's like, about 48 degrees, a little cool for Texas. But we'll just see what we can do. So let's go for it. I'm going to go ahead and set these are going to be more or less bokeh shots, and maybe I'll get a close-up of a leaf and then we'll go into macro mode. And I'll show you how I set up for that. So I'm kind of setting up my composition here. Pretty cool. Kind of shooting into the sun. Going to dial in my focus. See, that's obviously we want to get critical focus, and that's obviously wasn't it. So at 2.8, you're not going to get focus on everything. But that's pretty good. If I want to, I can turn my camera and get a different composition, right? Just like that. Let's make sure we've got, I like that, so let's make sure, again, that we've got something focused, right? And now, instead of turning the focus wheel, I'm just gonna move my camera in a little bit. You can pull it in and out. So that's pretty nice. I like that. So here's maybe another one. You can see that the light's kind of hitting that one little leaf there, and I kind of like that. So what am I gonna do here? I want to find a composition, right, that I like. I see some bokeh balls back there. That's cool. Just don't know if I can get them because the actual tree's in the way. Like maybe I can pose it just like this. Bring my ISO up just a little bit, maybe to there. Get my focus dialed in. Critical focus with my focus zoom. And we'll focus on that leaf right there. And I'm going to get the shot. I'm liking that shot. I'll probably post that one. So, you always want to look for, this leaf here. I mean, these would be nice, but if you've got this morning sunlight coming in, look for the spots where, you've got sunlight and shade and the sun's hitting some of these leaves because they're really going to pop in the shot, right? At least that's what I do. Now I could even, shoot up because I've got a blue sky up there and the orange and the blue. Think about your colors. That's also part of your composition. So the orange and the blue is really their complementary colors, and those are really going to pop. So let me see what I can get shooting upwards. Maybe I should have brought a stool, right? So here you can see my sky's kind of blown out. My ISO is at 160. Let me not focus. Let me bring my ISO down. And maybe, so we don't blow out our sky. And we can hopefully recover the shadows right in the shot. So now I'm just trying to find a composition that I like with one of these leaves that are lit up and I'm having a hard time finding it. So maybe here, something like that. Not crazy loving it like the last ones, but it's all right. Let's get some more blue, and then I know in Lightroom that I can recover some of those shadows, and I'm just pushing in. I'm not using the focus wheel, right? So one other thing I noticed was some light hitting these leaves down here. I don't know how that's going to look, but I'll come down here and try to get a shot of those and see what happens. Okay, so you see how that's looking? This is what I was hoping for. So even though, you know, in the background I've got this border there and I got a fence, you know, when you have a fast lens, sometimes you can get compositions like this and it doesn't really matter. Look at that. So I got to figure out what I want in focus in this shot. And we'll go with that for starters. Composition's a little busy. And then we'll bring it down here and maybe try to get that in critical focus. So I'm kind of focus recomposing, right? A little bit. So now there's a little bit of light coming in on these. I just like the way these things look. So we'll see what we can get. I'm becoming one with nature now. Let's go for it. See what kind of shot we can get here. So, oh yeah, I'm liking this. So you got the fence back there, distraction, right? So we want to avoid that. Just looking for composition now. Let's maybe right there. That could work, right? So just right there is the fence. We back out. I've got a fence right there. But as we get closer, we zoom in, we get our composition away from that fence. Just trying to get something that looks, you know, pretty here. Maybe I back out a little bit. So I get it all in there. Now we got some wind. And probably going to bring this up to 200 because we have movement. And I'll bring my ISO up a little bit. And just so we get some critical focus coming there. All right, so there's light hitting this and I really love it. So I'm going to come in a little closer and I'm going to bring up that shutter a little bit more so I'm not, actually let's bring that ISO back down. First, get down to the base ISO, right? Best quality is a 100 or whatever your base ISO is. You see the, so I'm going to bring the shutter up so I can properly expose those highlights. And I feel like this leaf is really popping out at me, so I'm just going to move in and out. I'm not even going to use the focus ring until I get focus, right? I'm kind of really liking the way this is hidden, and we'll just have to, you know, see how it looks. Look at that. That's kind of a cool shot. So let me get my, let's make sure something is in focus, right? I'm just moving in and out with the camera. Maybe I go to, you don't always have to shoot at the lowest aperture. Maybe I go to f4. Notice how that shut things down a little bit. I lost a little light. I'm at 1/500 on my shutter, so I can just, you know, bring that shutter down just a little bit. And now look at that, I'm in the ballpark. So think about things that are in the way, like this branch right here. I'm going to move it out of the way without breaking it, right? So now I've got a cleaner shot, right? And I feel like I'm not in focus. There we go. So we got that leaf right there. So let's just see what we can get. Just kind of looking up. Maybe we turn this sideways, right? Cool shot. All right, here we go. I like this. Maybe we bring that shutter up to right there. Make sure we're focused. Again, I'm not even using the manual focus ring. I'm just pushing in and out. So now I'm seeing something over here out of the corner of my eye that I like, the way the sun's hitting something over here. So let's go take a look at that. So what I was seeing was these right here, kind of the way the light's hitting that. And I feel like we can get something good here. So keep them in mind that I'm at f4, which should be fine. Should be able to get something moody here, right? There we go. Raise my shutter up. Now I'm just looking for, now see again, to focus, I'm just moving in and out, right? I'm not even using the manual focus ring. And that's pretty common with macro photography. So maybe I get this right here. So maybe back up just a little bit, refocus. Now I use the manual focus ring, but when I get critical focus, this is cool. Now I'm just pushing in a little bit till I get focus. Do it again, I moved. I see some light hitting here. Let's just see what we can do without disturbing the nature and the tree too much. I don't know if we'll be able to do it. Let me just see if I can become one with the tree. I don't know if it's possible, but let's see what we can do. This is kind of cool. Maybe I bring my shutter down a little bit. See, we got some things that are highlighted pretty well, so we don't want to blow those out, right? I know I can bring up the shadows in post. So just get general focus with the manual focus ring and then zoom in, probably get a little bit more. All right, so that's enough of that. All right, I might have knocked a leaf off, and I knocked a leaf off, so we had a casualty. I see one other potential composition right up here, so let's go for it. Just so you can see maybe what I was seeing. So this is what I was looking at right there out of the corner of my eye. So maybe we get that shot against the blue sky. Let's see what we got. Looks good. So got to find a composition here. You know, we can come in close like that. Maybe right there. Trying to just guesstimate about where the focus would be. I'm gonna move in and out because I need to get critical focus and I'm not sure if I got it, so. All right, so there you have it, a little bit of leaf photography. Now that I'm looking close up at this, you know, maybe we'll get a little macro here, super close up of one of these. All right, so when you're dealing with leaves and you're shooting macro, you can get a pretty shot where you're shooting sideways to them or at an angle to them. But if you're doing macro, you really want to shoot, if the leaf is like this, you want to shoot more straight on like that. So you get more of a flat surface and more of it will be in focus, right? So with that said, I'm not gonna be able to do this one from here. These are getting some nice light. So, and I'm gonna be able to get these a little easier and at a good angle, right? So let me try that. If I'm going to get, say, this leaf right here, I don't know if you can see it, but you will be able to see it. Let's see if we can just focus in on that. There it is. And I want to go down to f8. You see how I lose light there? And the closer I get to this thing, the smaller my depth of field is. It's like paper thin at this point, right? I can barely see the darn thing. So what am I going to have to do? Let me bring my shutter down for one. I think 200 will be enough. That helped. Right there, and then maybe I bring the ISO. That's really nice and moody. Bring the ISO up just a little bit to 200 and get the shot. Let's get critical focus. All right, it's moving, so maybe we take a few shots. All right. All right, so hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. I love autumn colors. I love leaf photography, taking pictures of those, obviously flowers and bugs. If you see my Instagram, @GregoryKPhoto, I'll leave that below. But if you're still watching, I appreciate it. Got some good leaf photos, got a good macro photo. Hopefully you learned something and just saw a little bit about the way that I work anyway. If you're still watching, I really appreciate it. Give me a like, and if you're so inclined, subscribe to the channel. That'll help me a lot. I just started out on this channel, so you guys have a good one. Thanks.